Hello, welcome to Truth and Tears. My name is Maureen. I'm so excited to be with you today because today's episode is about unveiling the unseen. It's about faith. It's about love. It's about journey. It's about transformation and purpose. We have someone amazing with us today. Her name is.
My name is Nancy Njidekan Nursery.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for
Look at
having me.
you look amazing.
Thank you.
Definition of strong woman.
I'm a soft girl.
So how are you today?
I'm good. I'm doing well. Thank you.
When talking about being strong, when people see women like us, they feel that we are strong or we should be strong. So I want to ask, strength is something people always attach to women like us. But I'm curious, what does strong really mean to you, and how do you feel it?
Okay. First of all, the African perspective of a woman's strength is about a woman who can endure pain, a woman who can be quiet. For them, strength and peace of mind are like twins. A woman who can conceal pain, cover up pains and brokenness, and still come out to look like everything is okay. Okay. But strength cannot really be defined because for you, what could be strength could be weakness for me. You
Mm.
understand what I'm saying? A woman's body by science has been proven to be the strongest in pain, um, in bearing pain. Okay, like they say when someone's leg is being cut off or the hand, the pain the person feels is nothing close to the pain a woman's body goes through during childbirth.
Wow.
Yeah, so pain can be defined in anywhere. For me, people call me strong because behind closed doors, I could be crying and then come out and smiling, but you don't know I'm going through stuff. So that's just what strength could be for them.
So if you could sit with your younger self before now, what would you tell yourself?
I'll tell myself to build walls, tall, strong walls. Um, Not trust too much because I'm someone who trusts a lot. Like I get to meet you for today. I'm loving you. Once I feel your vibe, okay, I'm loving you. I can take my mommy always says this thing, nothing another can matter too much or they're on my like I used to take people in. I'll tell myself to not be that person again. Doesn't mean I wouldn't love, but then from a distance. Okay.
Why the building of walls?
You know, I'm a single mother of three girls. I'm a single mother of three girls. The walls I'm trying to just talk about was in this aspect. When a man talks to me now, it's not like I get irritated, but then I don't just want to listen. Ugh, just stay there. I build the walls of, oh, all he's speaking is lies. They're all lies. So I'm not believing you. I'm not trusting you because I have gone through stuff. I've gone through pain. So the walls are going to be like a protective shield for me not to let you get to me because I'm a very soft person. So my younger self, I'll tell. So people don't get to know me for me. I'm very soft. I cry a lot. I'm a crybaby. Yeah. So the walls in this regard is so people don't tend to know who you really are, what you can do and what you cannot do.
Have you ever felt in this journey, have you ever felt at a point of I can't take this, I can't do this anymore? And how did you get back up?
Several times, like 101 times in a day.
In a day?
Yeah, I feel it. Like I feel it 25 hours in a day. We have 24 hours in a day. It's
So
just
how do you find strength every time, every hour to
God. I don't know how he does it. And then my kids. Most times, like I say, I cry a lot. I cry to the point when I'm so broken, so weak, my head begins to ache, and I'm just like, God help me. I am tired. I can't bear this anymore. I'll just find myself sleeping. And most times, my kids, when I look at them, I'm like, they don't deserve a broken mom. They don't deserve um, a mother who is depressed, who is always crying. They don't even deserve to see me cry
Mm.
because sometimes when am in that feeling or I'm broken and I'm crying, even I have twin girls, so they'll just run to me and start cleaning my tears. They don't deserve it because subconsciously they are growing with my mommy is always
Right.
crying. So instead of me to be their protector, they also always want to find a way to protect me. So when I look at them, I'm like, no, I'm supposed to be like strong for them. So they are the strength. I draw the strength from them and
And
from
then
God. Yeah.
people talking about being strong. People say God gives the hardest battles to the strongest soldiers. Do you believe that, or is this something that people say to ease the pain?
It works both ways. Like for me, I'll say yes. He gives the toughest battles to the strongest soldiers. Recently, my walk with God has become more intentional in the sense that I whisper every little details to him. So I could just be here and he will tell me, your mess has become your message.
Mm.
So I had to go through some stuff. If I had been more obedient to the leading of the Holy Spirit, if I had listened to the counsel of God and followed the leadings of the scriptures, probably I wouldn't have gone through life or tough lives, um, tough, how will I say, tough things in life. Let me just use that word. Yeah. But the things I had to go through is because he knew some way, somehow, he knew God knows the end from the beginning. Yeah, and even the beginning from the end. He knew she is going to get through this and it's going to make her better. And it's going to also help other people before her or after her to align to their purpose and calling. So yeah, he gave me, most times I get tired, like I am like, this is too much for me. But if it is not me, who else would it be? So I understand better. I know better. We all have been through, having gone through betrayal, abandonment, negligence, even when I was pregnant, having gone through molestation by even who is supposed to be a pastor. It makes me know, like right now, I know that it's beyond, it's not the person bearing, it's not the name, but rather the person bearing the name. It's not about being a pastor, but it's about the person who is a pastor. So I have learned to remove the title,
And deal with the person.
yes, in the person. So most times they say, you're a pastor. Truly speaking, as a pastor, there are things you shouldn't be doing. You understand? There are things you shouldn't do as a pastor. So it has come to help me know that, okay, I had to go through this life, this journey to be able to grow into the woman I have become. God knew I was going to be able to handle it. I'll throw in this very short story. I had an issue. I got pregnant. I was abandoned by the father of my twins. I saw hell, but it's not something I want to go into right now. But there was a call I got sometime last year after I had my baby 2 years ago, and somebody just said, you're the only person that came in mind to call to help liberate this young girl. She's just 18. She got pregnant for a pastor, and he told her to go for antenatal in the hospital at Sumbano. She lives in Olo. Imagine the distance, Olo to Mbano. But he feels in his spirit that it is an abortion she is going for without her knowing. And something in me got so angry because I knew what it is to have gone through that stage with somebody whose office is as a pastor, abandoning you, and then taking you to go and abort a child. He asked me, where are you? As God will have it, I was in Umbano. I don't know. I left Port Harcourt to the village. So I was like, I'm in Umbano. He said, what do you want? I said, I wanted to go back to Port Harcourt. He said, no. Please, can you find the hospital? He said the name of the hospital. I rushed there. I just took a bike. On getting there, the first thing I did was to give the girl a drink and biscuit. She said the doctor said she should not eat anything till they check her baby. She doesn't know it was abortion. So I gave it to her because I knew if he said don't eat, means if she eats, the procedure cannot take place.
Okay.
So when the doctor saw me, he felt some kind of way because he was informed she was coming alone. So it was an elder in the pastor's church that brought her to the hospital, left her there, and left. So I followed the girl to the doctor's office. He was asking indirect questions to find out who I was. So when he checked the girl, he said that he cannot do it again. I said, sorry, do what? He said, are you not sent by pastor so? That they will have to take her to some place again, that he can't do it. I was like, oh, it was actually an abortion. He said, please, he doesn't know who I am, that he doesn't want trouble. So he's not going to do it, that I should take her and go. You understand? So I took the girl and I left. And today she has the child, is a male child, is a year and now. So I understand that God puts you through certain things to make you stronger.
You just spoke something about pastors, but before we get to that point, what's one truth that you've not shared with anyone that you like to share here?
There's so many truths about I've been suicidal before. I tried to take my life countless times. Yeah, because I'm the first daughter in my family, and I'm somebody that my dad had high hopes on. He expected a whole lot from me. So at 16, I took in. Yeah, I took in from someone who is a neighborhood friend who eventually drugged me, but nobody really knew the details. I don't really tell people. But then he typhooned my mind, making me think it was love. I was still very young, out of secondary school, seeking admission. I protected him then. And when I found out I was pregnant, even before I found out I was pregnant, the pastor told me. He walked up to me and said, "You're pregnant, and if you try to remove the child, you will die." He said it to me. And then a child that they call my child in the compound they live. Chinechere is her name. She stammers, she stutters. She just came to me, and that's the first time she spoke without stammering. She said, "Auntie, you will born baby girl." I looked at her in shock. I'm like, she wasn't stammering, and she just said the same thing the pastor said to me. And he made the scripture that where the Bible said, once I've spoken, twice you've
Twice
heard,
I've heard.
very clear. I'm like, where is this coming from? So at that point, I also tried to take my life because I was like, I can't
Bear the
face
shame.
yet. And then again, when I had my twins, the father of my twin girls came to the hospital where I just had my babies. I had them through cesarean section. And then opening my eyes, I got to see him and a pastor who betrayed me. God, if there's any sense of betrayal I felt in my life, it has to be from this pastor. They were together and they went out. He came back and he said something to me. He whispered it. Would you come for my wedding?
Ouch.
Will you come with the girls for my wedding? I don't know why these girls looks like me. What is God trying to prove? There and then, the pain that I had from the cesarean cut is nothing compared
To
to
the
the
heart.
pain I felt in my heart. And then I wished death upon myself. So I tried so many things. But then God still has use of me.
If you were to be very honest with God, no sugarcoating, what would you tell him?
I asked him why. Why me? Why it has to be me? Why I had to suffer growing up. I was a pampered child. I was a child who my daddy wouldn't let you hit me. My daddy never hit me for 1 day. I don't relate when people say their daddy flogs them. My daddy never flogged me. And my papa became the apple of his eye. He made it flog me. But then I grew up as a sick child. It wasn't like I was a sickle cell, an AAO plus, but it was from having ear issues to eyesight problems to bone marrow issues. They said I was asthmatic. I'm not even trying to own up all these things. suffering from hepatitis B. I almost died. God came somehow to save me. That was just an angelic
Intervention.
encounter, yes, because it was just miraculous. I was diagnosed with hepatitis B on a Friday morning, went for vigil on that Friday evening, went back home. How I got back home, I don't know, because I was just shutting my eyes and just going. I slept all through Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Monday evening, somebody wearing white woke me up. Said, "Do you want to die? It's not yet your time." So I sat down. It felt like a dream, but it was real. And then he hit me. I sneezed. A very thick substance came out from my nose. It made me all dizzy. I slumped till my mom came back that night. And it was that night she noticed that I've been wearing the same clothes. Like these people have been coming back home. It wasn't like they were not paying attention, but something stopped them from waking me up because I felt the Lord was just doing his thing.
This thing.
Yeah, she was like, "You're wearing the same clothes. You have an appointment with the doctor the next day." So we went back and hepatitis B was gone. I was also diagnosed to have surgery on my both eyes. Yes, because I had very bad glaucoma. I don't see. I can't see somebody 5 steps ahead of me, even if it's my mom. I only get to know you from hearing your
My
voice.
wife.
And at some point, I started having ear issues. So I was also visiting ENT, ears, nose, and throat at Lutz. When we moved down to Port Harcourt, I started visiting UPTH and BMH. So at BMH, I was supposed to have my eye surgery. I also went to church and doing prayers. I was usually use the medicated glasses. So I threw the glasses away. I stepped on it. I never knew what I was doing. I stepped on it, and and when I went back to the hospital, the doctor said the pressure of my eyes has dropped, and then what they needed to operate on, you know, they don't see it anymore, and that was how I had my healing. So one way or the other, I'll ask God why me, because I've gone through stuff. I've gone through betrayal. I've gone through pain. My dad, who happens to be my backbone, fell ill. Yeah, he has stroke presently. On the 21st of March last month, maybe 10 years, he had stroke.
And
Yeah,
he's still alive
yes,
with the
but
stroke.
yeah, my mom is a very good woman. I don't think, I'm sorry to say, but I don't think there's any woman who stands by her husband the way my mom has. I envy her. I even tell her, this thing you're doing, I don't think I can do it. So that sickness alone drew me apart from my dad because psychologically I'm preparing myself that anything could happen. He always has seizures. So when all this thing comes, it gives me a relapse. I break down. So I also asked God why me because I've also been molested by a pastor, you know, and having to go through that several times. He was the one taking care of my bills. He was the one supporting my school, you know. But there was also a price to pay. And I started seeking help when I knew that, okay, I needed to break free from this. And then I went to a church, House on the Rock Heritage House for Harcourt. The pastor handed me over to a female pastor. I love her so much, Pastor Angela Onoche. Then she handed me over to another pastor. She was like, no, 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 this one, a big person. She handed me over to another pastor who is a redeemed pastor. He's also a psychologist, a therapist, and all of that. So he started talking to me, went through different therapy sessions. It was through him I knew who a narcissist was. So he told me I was dealing with a narcissist, a manipulator. And then he said it was going to take time. Mentally, I broke, like I was shattered. Then the person in question told me, "Ah, you can't get free from me,"
Mm,
until I eventually found him with a pot of charms. And he took me to go and swear.
pastor.
He took me to go and swear in the Blessed Sacrament. I'm a born Catholic. He took me to go and swear. And I went there. He turned the whole tables around and he was like, "So you want me to die? And you don't love me, you don't care about me after all I do for you because you saw something in my bag, you want me to die." And he worked. I started crying and begging him. I started crying and begging him, you know. But deep down, I was broken. You know, he swore to me that he loves me. You know, it's after his mother, I'm the next, I'm his life, I'm his this, I'm his that. And then boom, he was getting married. I found out by myself. And I'm like, so it was tough for me that period. It was really, really tough, the heartbreak and all. So I just asked God, why did I have to go through all this pain, betrayals, you know, I had to go through the hands of manipulators. Though through the help of God, after what I went through in that man's hand, I've been able to pull out young girls from his grip. And most times it gets as bad as they will come and tell me, ah, mama, do you know this is what he did? Even one of my daughter in ministry, he actually slept with her and her sister, like together. So when she came to tell me, he said, anybody I tell that I will die, that he will kill me, that I will die, he made me to swear. I said, what?
Those are the kind of things you see in movies. Are they real? Like,
They are real. They are real and real. My story, my life history is very good to be a movie, just that the season will not end. But I hope it will end for good. So when she told me, I said, what did he use? She said, he used water and salt. I said, okay, bring water, drink salt. If there's somebody to curse, there's somebody to bless. Yeah, so she brought it. I prayed over it. I said, take, drink. She drank it. And then I called her sister. Her sister confirmed, her cousin sister actually confirmed it. Meanwhile, those two people were practicing lesbianism and they confided in him.
oh,
Yes. So instead of him to like pray to
and
liberate them,
counsel them.
he was using them and then telling them that anybody that gets to know about it, they will die, you know. And you're saying, who will believe your story? You understand? So I know God has made me go through these things rather, to be able to make me strong so that when I'm speaking to somebody about experience, about purpose, I have a story to tell. They should know I am the right person to tell you that you see this thing, you can come out of it. You can be better. Yeah.
Talking about pastors and church, what was that moment you realized that the church is no longer safe anymore?
I try my possible best to separate the church and the persons in the church. I always tell myself it's not the church that wronged you, that broke you. It's actually the people in the church.
So what hurt you the most? Is it the institution, the
The
people,
the
or the
people,
silence?
the people and the silence. You know, for I would like to refer to him as my ex, yes, because we kind of had a relationship, just that it was manipulative and toxic. Yes.
Hmm.
I got to hear that his members were praying against me. I got to hear. Like one of them called me, yeah, mama, they are praying, like they gathered prayer people and they are praying against you. And I'm like, "Oh, why? I'm the one hurting. There was nothing they did not even say, you know. But you know, it's your story. You know the truth. You, the person involved, and God. You know, so it's both the silence and most times they're not actually silent. Most times they can actually be vocal but aggressively towards you, but covering who they believe in, blind followership. Like for the father of my twins, I don't want to delve or dive into certain things. I confronted him, you understand? And then it's one of the things I regret doing, but I did it out of pain, out of I was pained. I had to confront him in his church. And each day I ask God that, oh, Lord, I hope you forgive me, you know, because it's wrong to actually cause a sin in the house of God, being a minister, you know. So he asked his members to lay curses on myself and the kids that I said were his. You understand the scenario? And that's what I'm saying. It's not the silence. Most times they are vocal, but they are vocal in a wrong way, whereby they channel their whole anger, their whole hate, and all of that towards you, which they did. There was only one woman who stood by me in the church. She said, I know what you're going through. I know what you're going through. He got my own daughter pregnant too, and I asked her to terminate it. I know you're saying the truth. I know. You understand? So life happens in a way that you just know that it's not the church, it's just the
The
people.
people.
And in the place of the church is just like a psychiatric home now. if we are
Different
being
people.
very serious. You have different people with different upbringing, different ideologies, both the learned and the unlearned, the ones that are ill, that I could be HIV positive, you could be hypertensive, we're in the same ground. We have different issues, you know. So they are like different sick bodies coming into a place with different motives that could be asking God for healing. You, as a, let's say you're a man, you could be eyeing the pastor's wife. Another person could be thinking of how to steal offering, but everybody with different intents in the house of God. So I tell people, don't say the church, the people in the church. Yeah.
So if you could say one thing, since you said it's not the church, it's the people.
Mm.
If you could say one thing to the people that hurt you, what would it be?
I'll first of all say, don't be a blind follower. Don't be. Have a personal relationship with God. I have a mentor who I love so much. But if tomorrow something is being said about him, I wouldn't come outside to start defending what I don't know. I'd rather keep silent. I would rather I like to be under a pastorship of someone who I know truly. You understand? Who I know him for who he is. So I'm not caught off guard. So I'll tell them, know God for yourself. And after that, know the person you call your pastor. Pastors can be very, I'm sorry, I'm also a pastor. I'm also, let me not say, I say pastor, I'm also a child of God. We get working towards perfection. We can't be perfect, only God is. But I always tell them, have a personal walk with God because He's more interested in that. Know God for yourself. The time you use in pouring your energy and everything into the house or into the church, I'm not saying you shouldn't work for God. I'm not saying you shouldn't give your service to God in the church. But you also have time to do that also in your house, to keep your space clean, to pray, have a closet where you can talk to God by yourself. You know when God is talking to you, you know how He talks to you. When you have this, you wouldn't be a blind follower. And when you've done these two things, also please and please love. Learn to love people. Everybody who have wronged me in this life, everybody who has come to misjudge me, misunderstand me, believe lies, say there are different stories. I'm not out here to say my story because if I open up, like if I open up, people will be wild. I've forgiven them. I've forgiven them. I remember one woman um in the church that night I was talking about. She was throwing slippers at me. She was saying so many things. I was looking at her and I said, "You have a girl child, right?" She said, "Yes." I said, "Let's see how far it will go." When I left there, I told God, "I forgive you." Because they don't know what they are doing. Just like Jesus said on the cross, "Forgive them, Father, for they do not know what they are doing." Forgive them. Even that same night, I passed out. Like, I saw myself in a vast place, just me. And a voice came, "Where are you going?" This is like the second or the third time I'm having the visitation of the ministry of angels. And then he hit me by my side. I woke up, there was a very tall being wearing white. Like the white blinded my eyes. Immediately it was not there anymore. Then I know that, oh, I'm still here. You understand? So people should know God for themselves, have a personal walk with God. Love your neighbor. That particular scripture where say, love your neighbor as you love yourself. God knows what to make him talk am. He won't, because if you love your neighbor, there are things you wouldn't do. There are things you wouldn't say. There are actions you wouldn't take. So I'll tell those people in the church who are judgmental, the more judgmental a person is, if you check them very well, they have shitty things in their closet. They're the deadliest kind of person. So free up your mind, love God, have a personal walk with Him, then forgive.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Nancy. You've heard from us to forgive, know God for yourself. God is more interested in your WALK than your WORK. God loves you, Jesus loves you. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
sharing. Thank you for watching. Till I come your way again. God bless you.
God bless you.